500 videos in 18 years. Actually 501, but the first video is lost in the history of the internet. It was different back in 2006 when I moved from Google videos over to YouTube. Monetization wasn't a thing, and we all just posted video online for the fun of it, or to share something we learned. Fast forward to today, and it seems like AI slop is set to take over the entire platform, proving the dead internet theory is real. You have AI videos with AI bots watching and commenting, and YouTube enables it all by plastering unskippable ads everywhere. They make money, AI farms make money, everyone's happy. Except for you and me. They took away dislikes, so we lost one of the best signals for avoiding slop. And then they push shorts and products so much, it's harder for creators who want to actually do things with intentionality. The too long didn't watch for this video, YouTube's been great, but it also scares me. And because of that, I'm now also on Floatplane. What's Floatplane? I'll get to that. This channel's just about to hit 900,000 subscribers, and to each and every one of you, thank you. I still see people commenting today who I remember talking to in the comments like a decade ago. For me, YouTube's a lot more about community, the interaction and the learning, than it is about the TV aspect. What I mean by that is if you go to the TV and pop a video on, you just want to be entertained for a bit. But you don't really do that if you're going to sit at your workbench and hammer out a project, or if you want to ask questions and discuss things with the person who made the video. It can happen still, but as we see more of a move towards TV and mobile, the interaction, the part that made Web 2.0 special, fades away, and I hate that. Besides that, YouTube's ad and business-friendly policies over the years have led to some unfortunate realities. One of those realities was I got hit by my first community guideline strike last year. YouTube said my video on self-hosting Jellyfin had dangerous or harmful content. It was a bit scary thinking that if that happens twice, my entire YouTube channel, in fact, all my YouTube channels, could just disappear overnight. Luckily, after posting about it on Twitter, I got someone inside Google to remove the strike. But if you watch the news, you'll see this isn't an isolated incident. And unlike the case with me, or with SignVibes more recently, not every creator has the reach to get in touch with Google. So we see some channels just fade off into nothingness, and that frightens me. I mean, on top of that, the viewer experience on YouTube is getting worse and worse. It's a sad state of affairs when people have to rely on extensions like return YouTube dislikes, revanced, or sponsor block just to not hate the user experience. And I don't begrudge anyone for trying to make it easier to watch YouTube. But in light of all that, as a hedge, I want to make sure my content is also available somewhere else. I found a platform where you can watch with 0 ads and 0 algorithms. You can download all my videos in 4K with no DRM, and even integrate my channel into your local self-hosted Jellyfin library. And before you ask, I'll still upload everything to YouTube. Nothing's going behind a paywall. But the platform I'm talking about here is Floatplane. Now, if you've heard of Floatplane, you might be scratching your head. Do they even add new creators anymore on Floatplane? Isn't that just a Linus Tech Tips thing? Well, it's a little complicated. If you haven't heard of Floatplane, it's one of a dozen or so creator-founded video hosting platforms. It seems like any channel on YouTube that grows large enough eventually sets up shop somewhere else. And the biggest creators seem to build their own platforms, like there's Corridor Digital, Nebula, and of course, Floatplane. But on Floatplane, some creators are invited to create a channel and people can pay to access their content. There are no ads, the user experience is centered around video playback, and most of the money people pay makes it to that creator. The big hairy elephant in the room, of course, is Floatplane's relationship to Linus Tech Tips. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm not aware that LTT's been in some drama. I've never had a negative interaction with anyone from LTT, nor from anyone else involved, so I don't have anything to say about all that drama. But the best thing about Floatplane is there are actual humans involved. I can reach out and talk to one of them if I have a problem, and they're not just gonna delete my videos about self-hosting because Disney or some other sponsor doesn't like it. At least, I hope not. And just as an aside, while I love Floatplane's simplicity, there are some warts with the platform, especially from an accessibility perspective. I'm documenting those on my GitHub, so if you're one of the like 0.1% of people who consider subscribing over there, check that out. But this brings up a good question. Why not join Nebula? That is a good question, and after having an offer to join handed to me, it's a question I'm still actually thinking about. But without having seen an actual contract yet, and based on only one serious conversation, I have 3 things that kinda put me off for now: comments, exclusivity, and affiliate marketing. Comments might be the biggest thing holding me back. Honestly, a platform like Nebula feels more like a Netflix or an Apple TV than a YouTube. Half the things I learned from video, I've learned from the comment section, and I've had plenty of extremely useful conversations down there. It's really that community aspect that I think is missing. Having to send someone off-site to like Reddit or something just feels wrong to me. In other words, even through this weird parasocial relationship filter, I like and respect the people who comment on this channel, and I wouldn't want it any other way. The two other reasons are things that are smaller but still important to me. From what I can tell, if you post videos on Nebula, that's the only place you can put them outside of YouTube, and exclusivity deals feel weird to me. If I had to sign something like that for Floatplane, I probably wouldn't have signed up for it. The last bit is on how creators on Nebula make money. I'd probably want to talk to some Nebula creators directly about this to know more, but it seems like a substantial portion of what you make comes out of how many people you get to join Nebula. And I just don't like that kind of affiliate marketing. It's something a lot of creators do, and I don't think it's bad necessarily. It's just, I don't feel comfortable relying on affiliate marketing for income. But Jeff, I know one of you is typing right now, what about Amazon affiliates? Yes, I am a member of Amazon affiliates, and I have been for over a decade. But let me introduce you to a great line from Technology Connection's recent video on how algorithms are breaking how we think.
Wait, nuance? On the internet? That's illegal!
If you want to read more on my sponsorship, affiliates, and product sample policies, check out my YouTube repo on GitHub. And leave a comment below. Let's have a discussion about it. And what about Patreon? I'll keep my Patreon going like it's always been. My goal online, just as it has been since I started allowing sponsorships for my open source work, is to just give people the option to support me in what I do. It's less about benefits, though you do get access to my Discord. Floatplane, of course, is a little different. For me, it's kind of the emergency escape hatch, but for people who want to support this channel, it has the side benefit of giving a better viewing experience. YouTube has been amazing for me. It's allowed me to finally pursue my passion of learning and teaching in a way I could have never done working in a traditional school. YouTube is also the only reason I was able to repair this ridiculously overcomplicated sliding door on our minivan a few months ago. But that which giveth taketh away. Jeff, his face black, his eyes red. YouTube when the walls fell. Until next time, I'm Jeff Geerling.